Welcome to part 2. Let me just say, whenever I was filming this half of the sketchbook session, I'd been drawing and recording for like maybe, I don't know, 3 hours. So if I seem a little loopy and I stop making any sense, that's why. I apologize in advance. It gets to be like a little bit much. I was watching it back and I was like, what am I even saying? But I hope you guys enjoy it anyways. Okay, also thank you for like 70,000 subscribers. Like what? That's literal insanity. I'm having a hard time even wrapping my head around that number. But thank you. I wish I could reach out and just give a collective hug to my audience, but my arms are kind of short, so. But thanks a lot, you guys. I appreciate the support, and I'll just be here trying to process that big number. I was feeling absolutely ravenous, so I went to go and eat some food, and I had some cup noodles. Yes, very excellent and healthy. And now I'm feeling energized and ready to keep going. So I'm gonna just be talking about some art stuff for the rest of the sketchbook session, I think. And I wanted to do one of my little marker doodles because I have a super fun time doing these. It's just like a very freeing thing to draw with a marker like this, and you'll sort of see whatever what I'm doing with this later as I fill it in. But what I like to do whenever I'm doing a study like this or a little marker doodle is just to grab like a marker and the lightest variation of the sort of skin tone I'm working in and rough out the face shape with that. And then from there, I'm just gonna kind of go in and start defining the facial features a little bit. I'll have maybe my reference on screen if I remember to do that, but I'll just sort of start roughing in the basic shape of everything. I feel like this is a good way to learn how to draw faces because you can work with these bigger, blockier shapes, and it really helps me to focus on the general shape of everything rather than trying to focus on like lines, because sometimes lines are just, I don't know, lines can be annoying. That's why I've been more into painting recently, because I feel like painting allows you to just focus a lot more on the shapes that you're going for rather than just trying to get these really nice, perfect lines. I'm making lines sound like they're really difficult. Like, I just get sick of them, you know? I've been sort of a line work artist for most of the time I've been drawing, if not all of it. I'll basically say I've been a line work artist for pretty much the entirety of the time I've been drawing. So it's nice to sort of work with shapes instead. Like, there's still obviously lines going on here, but does it make sense? Am I making sense to you guys? I like it because once I get to this stage, I can kind of just go and begin shading in sort of like this cheek area. That's the main place that I shade in with my marker whenever I'm doing this. And I use these like Crayola super tip markers because they layer really nicely if you kind of play your cards right. So you have like this first layer on the neck, and then you can go in and just layer even more and you'll get like a darker shade of the color. It's taken me some experimenting to sort of figure out how I like to use these, but I really enjoy it. I think that this is a good way to do like quick studies, especially whenever I'm just trying to focus on faces and shapes. Let's see here. It also helps me to just add some color to my sketchbook. That's the main reason I like these guys, I think I would say. Because whenever you just have pages and pages of ballpoint pen sketches like I do, it's nice to bring something to the page that's like basically just color or has a more minimal amount of ballpoint pen going on. Because it can just get boring to look at. Like, a big goal of mine with my sketchbooks is to sort of like have nice spreads and for it to look pretty and nice. I almost treat it like a scrapbook half the time, because I'll go and start taping in doodles that I did that I like, and just taping in random stuff to make the pages look more interesting. And I don't know if this hand looks right. I feel like it's too big. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just having fun. But I really like to add a little bit of color and some interest to my pages, because it can get just like really boring after a while whenever you just have the same stuff on every single page. I also think this is sort of like an annoying reason to like this, or kind of a shallow reason to like this. I don't know what I would call it, but it fills up a lot of space, honestly, because these aren't super detailed. They have like the tip on them. Oh my gosh, there you go. You have a nice tip on them, but they're still not the most detailed. So you have to make your sketches with them kind of big sometimes, and it fills up pretty nice chunks of the page, I would say. So when you're trying to fill space in a sketchbook, and whenever you're trying to fill space in a sketchbook so you have a full spread during a sketchbook session, you see where my line of thinking comes from now? I think you do. It's a good way to fill space and be kind of lazy, but not too lazy, because we're making pretty art here. As you can see, I'm probably not really following my reference all that closely, but with this other color in the hair, I'm just kind of trying to highlight the darker spots on her hair, and then I'll probably be going in with sort of like an orange color or whatever later once I actually start doing a little bit more. But that's sort of how I go about doing these sort of study type sketches. I'll sort of work with one color and then get a new color, and since I don't have every single color of the Clairo super tips, I feel like they sell a lot of them. I have quite a few, but I don't have all of them. I'll try to just find whatever color is closest, and I think that's kind of fun to do, because it's pretty challenging to try to come up with a pleasing color palette whenever you don't have that many options. So it's also an interesting way to sort of get used to using colors and interpreting colors in different ways. So that's always fun for sure. Did I mention I like these because they go by pretty quick, and I'm a really slow artist? I mean, you guys know I'm a slow artist. That's one of the reasons why I was afraid to even start doing sketchbook sessions for the longest time, because I was like, oh my gosh, if I do this, it's gonna take me like an eternity to get it done. And it does. And for some reason, you guys still like it. I'll never understand why you guys still like it. I mean, I kind of know people tell me they like my sketchbook sessions because it means that they don't have to go and find a new video whenever they're watching along or following along when they're drawing, which, like, much respect. I feel that exact same thing whenever I'm trying to, like, draw along with, I don't know, some commentary video or something else like that. Try to find longer form content whenever I'm working and I don't want to be interrupted, but still, like, it just takes me a while to get things done, and it just makes me wonder, like, do you guys, like, actually care about the quality of the art that I am making in these sketchbook sessions? Because sometimes it feels like I'm just putting out literally whatever garbage came out of my head that particular day, and you guys are like, it's great, we love it, thank you for the trash, my dude. And if that's the case, I'm more than happy to provide my trash art for you guys. I love to do it. I have fun. It takes the pressure off me, you know? Whenever I was working on Sketchbook Session number 5, the most recent one before this one, as you guys know, I wasn't super happy with the stuff that I was drawing in that sketchbook session. It just, like, didn't really vibe with me a whole lot. I didn't really like how it was coming out. It was mostly, like, the angle was weird that I was drawing at, so everything got kind of skewed. There's, like, that classic art lean going on. So I was like, it doesn't look good, it doesn't look right. I covered up a bunch of stuff. I was like, oh, people aren't gonna like that, people aren't gonna watch it. I feel like that sketchbook session is like maybe my most viewed one, if not like next highest viewed one. So you guys like really don't care what the art looks like, do you? You are just out here consuming content like insane people, and I love you for it. It makes me so happy that I can have garbage art and you guys don't really care. You're like, sure, we'll take it. I'm joking around, but also it's nice to know that like you guys still appreciate these videos even whenever the art doesn't come out like super amazing. Because for a long time I was like, man, if I don't draw something that looks really good, people aren't going to stick around, people aren't going to really enjoy it or like it. But a lot of the times you guys still do, and it's just really nice. It takes some pressure off of me. Like, I know in the past I've been talking a little bit about how sketchbook sessions aren't my favorite thing to film. They make me a little bit nervous. But that hasn't been happening as much anymore. Like, I've enjoyed the process more. I would say that I kind of have to get in the mood to do it. I have to get in a mood where I can just sort of talk and I'm not constantly running out of topics. Like right now I'm kind of in the groove now. This one made me a little bit nervous just because there's an ad read on it, and it's like they wanted me to talk about something specific. And I go off in so many tangents, and it was kind of like a serious topic to discuss, so it's like, oh boy, that made me a little bit oof. But whenever I'm doing a normal one and I'm just drawing like this, and I'm just chilling out and I'm just talking, it's gotten a lot easier because I just don't feel like there's so much pressure to make my art like perfect. And I can kind of just make whatever. So I guess thank you for being patient whenever I'm having a day where I'm not creating the best stuff. And I feel like it's just relatable, and that's why you guys kind of appreciate it. Because I know everyone has days when they're just not doing it, they're not really feeling it. So, and I understand the importance of seeing your favorite creators have those days too, and not just seeing like the absolute best work that they put out, because like everyone has those days. It doesn't matter how long you've been drawing. And I, as someone who also consumes content, like yeah, I make content, I also watch a lot of content. I definitely appreciate it whenever someone's like pretty transparent whenever they're having like not a great art day. They're just kind of struggling. It makes me, you know, relate to them more. It makes me be like, okay, I'm not the only one who gets up some days and just can't draw a hand. You know, it's good to have solidarity, you know what I mean? So that's definitely helped me to enjoy filming sketchbook sessions a lot more the last couple of months. Even though I've only put out one sketchbook session in the last couple of months, I'm gonna try to do more for sure. I will say this is the next to last page of the sketchbook. Now, don't get your hopes up quite yet, because yes, this is the next to last page of this particular sketchbook, but does that mean all the other pages are filled? Unfortunately, no. I've done a lot of jumping around in this sketchbook. This is, let's see, this is my third one? Yeah, I think it's my third one. I would just get in these places where I was trying to sketch in it, and I've used a lot of different weird mediums in this sketchbook, so pages would just be like all wriggly and warped and stuff, and I would go and I would flip to the middle of the sketchbook basically, and I would draw there, and then I kept doing that because I kept using like acrylic paint in this sketchbook. I just kept on messing up like multiple pages, so now there's just a bunch of pages in the middle of the sketchbook that are sort of just unfinished. So my mission at this point, for the most part, is just going in and filling in the empty pages and filling in some of the pages that aren't quite complete. because as you guys know, I really like to like completely fill my sketchbooks. At least since the first one. The first one I think had 1 or 2 pages that were like mostly blank or something, but then other than that it was mostly full. And then the second sketchbook that I filled was completely full. It didn't have any empty or blank pages. So I would like to have, you know, everything be full in these sketchbooks, just because I don't like wasting paper, for one, and for two, I just think big full compositions look really nice. I really enjoy making them. I really enjoy having a lot of color. So, and I think it's really enjoyable whenever someone's doing a sketchbook session and they have like really full pages. I think it's fun to see that and to see like all the stuff that's going on. It just adds to the experience, I guess. Yeah, I really enjoy making my pages pretty full. So that's gonna be my mission until I finish up this one. And for those of you who are waiting on the sketchbook tour for the tiny homemade sketchbook that I made, I'm almost done filling that one. You guys might be thinking like, wow, it's taken you a while. It really didn't. I think I finished it all for the most part in about 2 weeks. And that's after not really even drawing in it every day. For a while there, I was like taking breaks and everything. And the reason it's taken me so long to finish is eventually I just started putting acrylic paintings on every single page of it, because I was just like on an acrylic painting kick. So now I have about 2 or 3 pages that I need to finish up, and it's going to take me some time because they're all acrylic paintings. So I'm gonna have to actually commit some time to finishing those where I can just like actually paint. So I kind of did it to myself with that one. If it was a normal sketchbook, I probably could have finished it in like a week or less than a week. If it was just sort of ballpoint pen drawings or marker drawings like this. But because I decided to basically just paint every page, and some of the paintings are pretty detailed, they're like photo studies and stuff like that. Because of that decision, it's taking me longer. So just bear with me on that. I think I'm going to finish it up pretty soon. I started blocking in and working on one of the little paintings the other day. It's a painting of my character Orchid. So we'll see. I'm thinking at least by September it'll be done. That's like a very generous timeline. I'm thinking I'm going to get it finished up before that, but expect a video on that no later than September. And finishing up this sketchbook is going to be a big project for me because I want to sort of get it done by the end of the year for sure. But probably even sooner than that, because during my winter break, I'm thinking I want to start a new sketchbook and get pretty far into a new sketchbook. So I have things that I'm doing. I have plans. I'm struggling to finish some of my sketchbooks just because I've been having some art block. It also made me neglect this sketchbook a little bit whenever I was working on the other one, because I just got into painting and it was like my little baby project. That's the other reason why I haven't finished it, because it's like I'm genuinely like in love with most of the pages in that sketchbook. I'm really proud of a lot of it. So I don't want to go and make like an Uggo page that I'm not going to be proud of. You know, I want all of them to look really nice, and I want all of them to sort of be like something that I enjoyed working on instead of something that I'm like forcing myself to work on because I'm trying to finish it up so that I can like show it to you guys. So I'm not making myself rush that one for the most part. And I think that's a good idea because, again, it's sort of my little baby project. I've really enjoyed working on it. So, and I also probably will honestly just start a new homemade sketchbook over my winter break as well. So that is also going to be a factor. I might actually make one that I finish in 2 weeks or something, or a week. I might do one that's just studies or just smaller ballpoint pen sketches, because I feel like, you know, that would be something that's really manageable instead of just making one that I have to paint on every page in. I don't even know how I got started doing that. I think I just whipped out the paint for one of the drawings in it, and then I was like, okay, I'm actually addicted to this. How do I stop? Also, this girl looks nothing like the photo that I was using for reference. Whoops. The photo of her looks very sweet and like cute and ginger girl, and then she looks very e-girl, but the E stands for evil. She looks slightly evil, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's kind of unfortunate, but she's still pretty fierce. She still slays. Let me add a little quick color block background to this, and then let's start on a new doodle after that. I've got to say, I also don't like how this girl and Aaron have the same like head tilt. It's bothering me a little bit with the composition of everything. Whoops. Okay, so in general, one of the things that I love to add to a good composition is a beautiful house plant. So I have become a houseplant person over the last couple of months, and I've spoken of my houseplant children in videos before, but I'm going to talk a bit about my houseplants again, or just houseplants in general. I like houseplants. They're just like, they're really pretty. They brighten up a room. I just absolutely adore them. So in this little section here, I'm going to be drawing a houseplant that I want but don't yet have, because I don't know if it can even survive in my room. My room has very high humidity, very low light, because I have like a north-facing window. I don't know if this can survive in my room. I'm thinking I'm gonna put up grow lights at some point here soon, but I really would like a Monstera deliciosa. I love their name. I think they look absolutely delicious, and I want one. I need one. So I'm drawing one because I don't know if I can even have this beautiful plant child in my life, but it's like a wish fulfillment thing. I'm putting it out into the universe because I would very much like this houseplant, and I'm gonna see what the universe gives me back. We'll see if I end up with a Monstera deliciosa. If I don't, that's okay too. I want a plant. I know I'm being dramatic. If I want one, I can just go down to the Lowe's and like buy one, right? I just need to research and see if I can actually have one in my room. But I also hear like such different things about the environments that houseplants can be in. I feel like I've heard people say that you can raise a Monstera deliciosa in like low light or in humid conditions or something like that, but maybe it's not ideal for that plant, but you could do it. I don't know. In general, I don't trust myself enough with plants. I have already killed I don't know how many cactuses and succulents, although my current beautiful succulent baby is doing wonderfully. It's grown so much since I've gotten it, to the point where I'm thinking that I might have to repot it pretty soon. But I'm incredibly apprehensive to do that because, like, oh boy, like, I feel like when people repot their plants, that's when their plant dies. So I'm like, oh no. I'm gonna just, like, leave them in the pots that they came in for as long as possible because they're doing decently in those pots. It's not like they've completely outgrown the pots. I am keeping an eye on how root bound all of my plants are. I have a Maria arrowhead plant that is getting pretty root bound, but I don't think it's quite ready to be transplanted into a bigger pot yet. But even that, it's in its like little nursery pot, so I could probably just pretty easily cut the nursery pot away and like get some soil and stick it in a new pot. I don't think it would be too difficult. The succulent, on the other hand, is a different story just because as it's gotten bigger, some of its little succulent leaf things have been falling off, and people say that's normal. I think it is normal because most of them look healthy. The sort of root or the base or whatever of the stem looks healthy, but it is scary because With this succulent, I don't know what kind of succulent it is. It's sort of just like the assorted succulent variety. And I've had absolutely no luck determining what it is from sources online. So I don't know exactly what it needs. For most of my other plants, I've been able to just do some late research and find out exactly what they need. And then it's just been so easy from there. Like, I'd say I forget to water my bromeliad and my raven ZZ most of the time, and they're fine. They're chilling. I mean, they haven't grown that much more in the last couple of months. They grew a lot in the first few. I think it was because I was really being good about watering them and even washing them. They probably need to be fertilized as well, which I don't have any fertilizer on hand. I need to go and buy some, but I generally don't know how to deal with plants half the time. So in general, if there's a plant mom or dad out there in the audience and you could tell me, hey, can I have a Monstera deliciosa in like low light and humid temperatures? Let me know, because I want one. I want to become a parent of another plant. I love plants. They really they bring so much joy to my life, and I need more. I just need more. Ever since I got my first few plants, I've been like obsessed. I've been like, whoa, this is what it's like to have living things in your room. Sign me up. I want more. So you guys give me all the advice that you possibly can, because I need it. I don't even know what I'm doing with the coloring on this little doodle. I also don't know. It doesn't look amazing, I've gotta say. It looks okay, but it doesn't look great. You know, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm like spiraling a little bit here. I've been doing this sketchbook session for quite a while. I don't even want to know how long the recording for this sketchbook session is going to be. But you guys like the long form content. Apparently that's what you tell me, so I'm going to keep making it. I'll probably see if I can finish out this spread, and then we'll call it a day for this session. So that means still quite a bit more space. Are you guys prepared to stay around for that much longer? I'm really starting to get tired here. So we'll see. Let's outline this dude. I really like the way this plant looks. Like, who allowed this? Who allowed this plant to look so magnificent? I marvel at it. I look at it and I'm like, wow, you're so beautiful. I would like to take you home with me. Would you like to live in my room with me, Mr. Plant? I love you. Wow. I look at plants and I start talking like Bob Ross. They just bring so much calm energy to my usually frazzled demeanor. Speaking of being frazzled, I have this weird effect on dogs, and cats too, but mostly dogs, where a dog sees me and they get just like insane. They want to jump on me and they want to bark and they want to play like immediately. It's like they can detect in my spirit the chaotic energy. But then my brother is literally the exact opposite. He is like my exact polar opposite energy in many ways, and yet he is also like chaotic. I feel like he's a chaotic neutral anyways. So whenever my grandparents had their Pomeranian that was actually a Pomeranian Corgi mix, they refused to accept that this dog was a mix. The breeder told them it was purebred. It wasn't purebred, it was gigantic. It was definitely a mix. Anyways, every time this dog saw me, she would just literally freak out. She would lose her tiny brain. And then my brother would have to calm her down with his calm energy. And then I would literally, the second I touched her, all I'd have to do was like touch her, and she would lose it again. She would be ready to play. She would be ready to go. This dog loved me. My dad also had the same effect on this dog. I don't know what it is. This dog was just very easily excitable if it was me and my dad. But then my brother would come around and she would just instantly calm down. Instantly. I don't know what it is. He just has this effect on animals where it's like they interact with him and they calm down. It's really amazing. It's incredible. Isn't it interesting how someone can have chaotic energy and still calm down a dog? It's impressive, it really is. Alright, let's do another sketch now, shall we? Okay, we are now going to speed run draw some OCs. I love drawing OCs on these little pieces of paper because I mentioned this earlier, but the composition is just so tiny and small that you can just like draw an OC pretty quickly and easily. It's a good warm-up for drawing faces and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just quickly doodle Orchid because she's one of my favorite OCs to draw. I feel like her face recently has been getting a little out of control. I know that seems quite dramatic, but like I used to have this very sort of set in stone way that I would draw her face, and I've been struggling to get back to that and like draw that correctly recently. Probably because my art style has been literally all over the place, but whenever this is happening, it's usually because I need to go and do some studies and brush up on anatomy and stuff like that. Like I go through these phases of doing a lot of studies and drawing with reference, and then I'll start not drawing with reference as often because my art style is getting a little bit more like solidified and taking over more, and sometimes I just straight up just don't want to be bothered, and that's part of the reason. But I'm having one of those moments right now where my art's just starting to get a little bit janky and weird, and when that happens I always go back to doing studies and sort of using references so that I can figure out like, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I draw an arm, a face, whatever. As you can see on this sketchbook session, I was using references for most of these and they're just not really turning out exactly how I would like them to turn out. So again, it happens sometimes, and it's because I'm not as brushed up on anatomy, and I mean, I've been having art block too. That's like a huge contributor to things not looking the way I want them to look. So once I get past this hump of the art block, it should improve a lot. This doodle of Orchid is coming out pretty good. It's actually the second time I'm working on this doodle of Orchid. I started doing one and then I was like, already this doesn't look right and it doesn't look like her at all. But this one looks a lot more like her. Or at least how I'm sort of trying to draw her these days. Hold on 1 second. My brother needed something. Wow, that's really cool and funky and fresh. The power just went out because it just storms literally every day here. So that's super cool. Wow, I feel like this has been a really eventful sketchbook session. Really glad to have you guys along for the ride with the power outages and interruptions and the who knows what else. It's really never a boring moment with me, is it? What was I even saying? Several things just happened, didn't they? You know, we are dealing with several things. But yeah, if you've never tried drawing on a sticky note like this, go for it. Give it a try. It's really fun. It's a nice way to do little doodles. My Google Home just turned on because...
By the way, the mic's off. To turn it back on,
thank you.
slide the switch on the back of Google Home.
Wow, my Google Home is being really loud. So apparently when the power goes out, literally all hell breaks loose. So, wow. I'm glad to have you guys here along for the ride because we've had a very eventful couple of minutes. But like I was saying, if you're like at school or at work and all you really have around is like sticky notes and you're like, man, I really wish I could like draw right now, draw on the sticky notes, just leave them on the stack, and then when you get home, just stick them in your sketchbook. See, we're really thinking big brain. We really said Elon Musk, SpaceX, big brain kind of thinking. So, I think we've established I'm a genius, and, you know, we can leave it at that. Let's add some little blushies to this because we love some cute little doodles. I need to get some markers that are better for like various skin tones, because that's one thing that I always struggle with these Crayola markers. This one's like okay for darker complexions, but it's still too dark to do things like blushies, you know. I need one that's sort of like an intermediate tone that works better for doing the blushy kind of things for black characters and stuff like that. So actually, if you guys have any brands of like water-based markers that don't bleed through sketchbook pages that you can recommend to me, I'm like kind of always on the look for stuff like this. On the lookout for stuff like this. I really enjoy using these kinds of markers. And I think I mentioned it a little earlier, but the brand of markers that I use is just Crayola Super Tips. One of the packs I got at the Dollar General for literally like $2.50 in US dollars, so it's really inexpensive if you need something to just add like big color blocks or something to your sketchbook. These are great. I tried to do a little bit more toning on this orchid doodle. I think it looks okay, but it's not quite there yet. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I've been wanting to draw Amity's new purple hair from the Owl House. For those of you who have been bugging me to watch the Owl House, I did it, okay? I finally did it. I watched the whole thing. I binged it in like a couple days. I'm caught up now. I'm just waiting for the new episodes to come out every week, and I loved it. So you can stop bugging me now. I posted some fan art I did of it on my Instagram if you want to go check it out if you're a fan of the Owl House. If you haven't watched it, go watch it because it's like such a good show. It's witchy and demonic, and there's just all the characters are so good. They're so cute. I love Luz so much. Luz is absolutely adorable. Cinnamon Nugget. And I love Amity too. Amity? I can't talk. Amity. My gosh, I've been doing this for too long. Did anyone else kind of like have a difficult time liking Amity at first? Because like before I got into it, I knew about the Lumity ship. Because I was like, okay, well, if Lumity is like the main ship, right, then Amity must be a pretty cool character and everything. And then at first, Amity was like mean to Luz in a lot of ways, and they had like a character development type arc, so like I get it and everything. I like the way they did things, but it was hard for me to like Amity for a couple of episodes. But now I love her. She's great. I really like that they sort of gave her a bit of a miniature character arc. And her crush on Luz is so adorable. Like, they're really, really cute. It's a very good ship. I'm not using reference for this, so forgive me if I'm kind of butchering Amity's new hairstyle a little bit here. Because, like, I didn't expect them to completely sort of restyle it the way it is. Words. I didn't expect them to do that. I kind of just figured that they would maybe dye it a new color, but it really does look pretty different in a lot of ways, so I hope that this serves as a pretty good representation of how her hair looks now. We will see. I need to like draw more fan art for this show. And if you're watching this now, also let me know if you want me to make any prints for the Owl House, because I'm not sure how the show will be with IPs, because it's like Disney and everything, right? But I know some shows aren't as strict with their IPs, so I could maybe make a couple of prints for the outhouse and not get a cease and desist letter in the mail. That really annoys me. I just want to like make some art so people can have some art on their wall. I'm not even gonna sell that many prints, and then you get all worried about getting served some papers. I know that used to happen to people with Ruby, because Rooster Teeth is kind of a lot with how they do that kind of thing, so I'm wary of companies now. Let's see here, eyes. I also really like the animation style for the Owl House. I feel like it has a pretty unique style in terms of like popular cartoons right now. Especially compared to stuff like Steven Universe and stuff that was popular a couple of years ago. I feel like they've done a good job of having like a pretty decently unique art style for the show. One of the things I noticed that's like one of the biggest unique things is that the characters actually have 5 fingers on each hand, and it's like, whoa, you used to never see that. So I know I'm like, whoa, this is really inconsequential. I shouldn't be impressed by them having, you know, more than 4 fingers on their hands, but I just like it. I also really love the character designs. I also really love that they change the characters' outfits depending on the episode. You used to never really see that either. So it's just a good show. I recommend it. Here is the Amity. I'm being a little bit too lazy with how I'm coloring this in. But it's a sketch, right? It doesn't have to be super clean. I'm also starting to like go for a long time here. I don't super mind if this video is really long, but it also just makes me nervous whenever I make videos that are this long, because then the main issue for me is Davinci Resolve gonna want to actually render it out. And by far the big my mouth is so tired. By far the biggest issue that I've had with rendering longer videos out is the sound just will be gone. It won't render out any sound. And I'm like, okay, tell me how you really feel. Maybe, can you have my sound back? I didn't do anything to get rid of the sound. Just, I don't understand it at all. It's really, really frustrating. And the Clip Studio Paint tutorial that I just put out, I had to render that thing out probably like 4 times maybe at its big size. It's like an hour and 4-minute long video. I had to render it out a bunch of times because it just wouldn't render out with sound. And I was like, what gives? Why is it doing this to me? I still don't know why. I finally got it rendered, but I have no idea why it was refusing to give me any sound. So that's fun. Do. I love how it literally rains every single time I have a sketchbook session. It also rains every day here right now though. Like every day, without fail, it rains at around, I don't know, between 4 and 6 p.m. It's gonna rain. And I'm so sick of it because half the time it's like raining and I'm trying to go for a walk or something. And I'm like, can we maybe chill so that I can go walk and be active? Thanks, my dude. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, her. I was feeling unhinged, so I wrote the chorus to All Star by Smash Mouth in this blank spot. I'm kind of regretting this decision now. I also drew this abomination. Okay, to finish up, let's try to actually draw like a full body person that's not a meme and kind of actually serious and kind of sort of cute, you know, because I've just been doing literally whatever here, which is always fun, but let's try to at least get sort of one actually good sketch out of this. I think it's always good to get like at least one that genuinely looks kind of nice at least. I have sort of like a reference of a girl wearing some like Harajuku fashion, which is always very cute. So that's sort of what I'm trying to draw here. Does anyone just really struggle with legs sometimes? Oh, it's just me? Fun. I'm joking, I know people struggle with legs. I just feel like I struggle with legs more than a lot of people do. Like some people can just really whip out a leg like in 0.5 seconds, and I'm just like, how'd you even do that? How do you, like, there's so many curves in a leg, you know? How do you draw a leg that fast? I don't know. Especially whenever I have art block and I'm spiraling, I can't draw a leg that fast. Let's see here. I guess it's sort of looking okay so far. Something I'm also not good at drawing is like platform shoes. I can't really figure them out. Like the anatomy of the shoe is like inherently kind of strange because they're platforms. I also feel like it doesn't help because I don't wear platform shoes, so I don't really have point of reference for like how they even work, you know? Let's see here. I need to zoom in on my reference a little bit so I can actually see the face of this person. I hope this is gonna end up looking proportionate, because in my reference, the person's wearing like this giant scarf, which is really cute, but it's like, it makes it kind of hard to see how the neck connects to the rest of the body. And I'm sort of drawing it as if the scarf isn't quite covering as much of her face. So hopefully I can make it work. Let's see here. I find it very difficult to draw references, or to draw faces on like a figure drawing. I know that's probably not a unique struggle, but you're focusing on so much of the body and the pose and other elements that like when you get to the face, I feel like it just doesn't always work out. You know what I mean? That's why I'm kind of trying to do the face kind of first in this one. Lay out the body and then do the face and then go back to everything else. I feel like it's coming along okay. This choppy haircut is also kind of difficult to draw. I have not been liking how I've been drawing hair recently. It's just been kind of like all over the place in a lot of ways. Like, whenever I look at my first sketchbook, like you guys, it's so annoying whenever you have like an older art style of yours that you like better than your current art style, and you look back at it and you don't even remember how you made things look the way you used to make them look, and you're like, wait, huh? What happened? How did I get worse at this thing? That's not how it's supposed to work. I'm supposed to get better at this thing. But not for me and how I draw hair, apparently. Oh no. Already, I don't know how I feel about this. Can we save it and make it look regular? That's the question. My neck is starting to get sore because I've been sitting at this desk for a couple hours now filming this video. Man, I need to learn how to draw fabric better. I'm really just whipping out these like shapes. Do I understand the shapes? No, I don't. They're just kind of there. Would I like to understand the shapes? Yes. Yes, I would. See, already this doesn't look right. I think I'm gonna have to make this skirt longer. Also, I love the like giant denim jacket that the model's wearing in this photo. Sorry, I forgot how to speak for a second there. It's so cute and like big and puffy. I love a big jacket. Like literally, give me the biggest jacket that you possibly can. I'm gonna curl up in that thing and I'm gonna take a nap. I love drawing like tiny hands and fingers. Like just a tiny bit of a finger sticking out of a jacket. Love drawing that. It saves me so much work. Like my dudes, that's where it's at. Because then you're not like completely avoiding drawing the hand. You just like, you can't see the hand, so you don't have to draw the hand if you can't see the hand. You know what I mean? It's all good, it's fine. Don't worry about whether or not that hand is actually there. It's totally all chill and regular. This skirt is also really cute. It's like, it's not checkered, it's like diamond checkered almost. Which is like, I don't know, that's like adorable. We're like sleeping on diamond checkered stuff, you guys, because it's cute as heck. I'm thinking about just coloring her hair in black, maybe. I would hate to do that because the skirt's yellow and the model's hair is yellow. But I've just made such a mess of it. I'm thinking maybe I'll just like add some dark roots so like the roots have grown out. Like you can tell that I'm rusty right now. All this sloppiness is like the sign that I need to practice. I need to like actually go and do some studies instead of just like trying to, like, this technically should be a study, right? But like it's not a study because I'm not like paying enough attention to how the reference actually looks. And I didn't break it down. I didn't do anything. I just drew it and didn't pay much attention. I'm just copying down the pose, really. Which that's like not the best way to study things if you're having an art block. I need to do some figure drawing. I need to actually like put the work in, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, I just heard my mom say to my dad, don't eat her pizza. Okay, I'm back. I literally can't do anything in this house. My dad was literally about to eat my dinner. Why is my family like this? Literally, I'm working in a room and I have a sign on my door that says, don't disturb me, because I'm trying to record something. And people just periodically keep popping in and disturbing me. Or I just hear loudness from outside the room. Of someone who is about to eat my pizza that I spent too much money on, and I would like to consume it because I spent a lot of money on it. So, yes. A very eventful sketchbook session, isn't it? I sometimes wonder how much noise from outside of my studio, it's my bedroom, gets on the recording of the sketchbook sessions and how much you guys can actually hear. Because my family is loud. They're loud. So I'm assuming that some of the stuff that they say just gets on the recording, and I'm like, we have a special guest today, everybody. My mom. Welcome, my mom, to the sketchbook session. You got anything you want to say? Oh, that's cool. So glad to have you here. Can I offer you a refreshment? Oh, my pizza? Sure, why not? Alright, I feel like we're almost done. We're on the home stretch. This has been a long one. Let me know if you guys enjoy like the even longer long form sketchbook sessions. Like if you guys could let me know, I guess what, oh my gosh, words, I'm getting real tired. If you guys could let me know what the ideal length of a sketchbook session for you guys would be. I can kind of like control the length somewhat because I know ballpark how long it takes me to draw most stuff. So if you guys could let me know, that would be great. I feel like it helps me to sort of gauge everything and figure out what kind of content you guys actually want to see and everything. So this is not the right color for this. This is the right color for this. Okay. I don't even know if this is the right color, to be honest. Let's see. What color is this other thing? The colors in this outfit are kind of all over the place, which is like the height of fashion, right? The height of fashion is literally nothing matches. And I'm here for it. Because I don't have a lot of stuff that matches anyways, and a lot of my outfits don't ever match. And it's like, that's me being fashionable, right? Whenever nothing matches. Wow, this red is almost out, and that's like the saddest thing I've heard all day. Here we go. Isn't that just like everything? Doesn't that just pop? Cute. The primary colors of it all, really. Let's see, we need our little diamonds. Let's do that next. Let's see. I feel like this is going to take me forever if I do it this way. But I don't think I have a better way to do it, honestly. So join me for the next 18 hours as I draw these little tiny diamonds onto this skirt. I feel like a lot of people would make a pattern like this look pretty cute and nice. And then there's me. I'm just literally drawing whatever on here. Because I'm tired and I want my pizza. I really do. I just want to eat my pizza already. But I decided this sketchbook session is going to last my entire existence. Wow. Boys, we're really eating it up today, aren't we? Look at this pattern. Beautiful, sophisticated, high fashion. It really is. It's high fashion. It's visual interest. It's having a mental come apart at 3 a.m. at a Denny's. Those are all the things it's serving. What am I saying at this point? You guys, why am I like this? Whatever gave me the brilliant idea to make long form content and just ramble on about literal nonsense is I draw diamonds. These aren't triangles, they're diamonds. I forgot what shapes were. I went and forgot what shapes were. Somebody call the shape police. I disrespected the shapes. Literally losing my mind. I keep staying up too late every night because the Olympics are on. I just like want to watch the Olympics. I was watching, what was I watching last night? I wasn't diving. Oh, I think it was like 3-on-3 basketball. Y'all, I eat that up. I love that. It was like, I'm trying to remember who won. It was such a good game, honestly. I'm not someone who cares about sports, but when the Olympics come on, I care about sports. I eat it up. I absolutely eat it up. And it's everything that I need. Everything. What color should I do as like the color block background? Does it need one? Should I add a little color block? I'm gonna add something here just to fill space. Well, that just looks ugly, doesn't it? I think what I'm going to do to make this look less putrid is actually have a like dark outline behind her. I feel like that might look kind of cool. And it's gonna take away from how awful this orange that I just added is, because it's not the moment. I tried to make it work, it's not it. It's not it. And sometimes you just have to accept that you didn't chart. I didn't chart with this one. If I did, it was low. It was really low. Losing my mind. Absolutely losing my mind. All of you who are out there who are like, oh, I love your sketchbook sessions because it feels like I'm drawing with a friend. How does it feel to draw with someone who is certifiably insane? Does it feel good? Does it make you feel warm and fuzzy inside? I really hope so. I'm really going off, aren't I? I really appreciate you guys. Am I really about to get sappy? I think so. Let's just go for it. I never thought anyone would want to just listen to me ramble and draw in my entire life. And yet, look at you guys, you're here. If you're here, give us an F in the chat. Press F to pay respect. I'm not even kidding. If you watch this far, comment F. Comment F is for friendship. No. Comment F is for funnel cake. Who likes funnel cake out there? Comment below. Let me know if you like funnel cake. I know people who don't like funnel cake, and it's a cardinal sin. I mean, I get it. It's greasy. It makes you feel terrible. Some people are allergic to gluten, whatever. You and your weak gluten stomachs, get out. Get out of my house. I'm kidding. One of my best friends has celiac disease. I understand the gluten struggles. Anyways, just eat the funnel cake. Funnel cake is great. And it was a big facet of my childhood. So just comment below, tell me if you like funnel cake. I'm so sleep deprived right now. I'm so sorry for anyone who's still watching. Please click away so that you don't see my mental come apart. I want to scream. Especially since half my markers are almost out. Love that for me. What should we draw right here? You might be saying, you don't need to fill that space. You're getting obsessive. You know what I say to that? No. You're getting obsessive. Let's just write something. Let's draw a weird eye. So here's the finished spread. In general, I'm pretty happy with it. Some of the faces here aren't really my best work. I'm kind of just not a fan of the same angle that I keep using to draw like almost every single one of these characters, but I think it was good practice to kind of get back into the swing of things, and I enjoyed using like the different mediums that I use. Like I used some watercolor, I used some markers, I used some ballpoint pen, you know. We're slowly getting back into it here and back into like trying to get cool compositions in my sketchbook. I actually really enjoy the composition that I've come up with here. I feel like there's a little bit of everything, so I really enjoyed working on this spread, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along too. I hope this isn't too long, but I've been told by many people that they enjoy the longer videos, so I hope you guys got something out of this. Thanks for sticking around, and if you watched this far, you're the best. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video or sketchbook session. Goodbye.
Do